Hampton Roads has a long-running high school and college sports tradition. It's time to give them the spotlight they deserve. This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
And we're with you here on 757 Saturday Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe. He is the Coach Ed Young, wearing blue today. I am Matthew Hatfield. Ed, it is a great weekend of sports action. And how about that finish in the Maury Bishop McNamara game, 38-35 triple overtime, and yours truly had to talk to a McCoy, Charlie McCoy, the kicker, which we'll hear in a little bit. But big weekend of college football, NFL 2, week number 2 in the league where they play for pay, although college games they play for pay too. Big matchup with Georgia, Tennessee in the SEC. How you feeling on this particular Saturday? Don't yawn. I know it's early. You're revved up, though.
Man, I had to get up early. I had to get up real early. Had some going-ons last night, today.
Did you know that the minimum limits in Virginia are $30,000? $30,000 is a lot of money on an individual basis, but if you're involved in a personal injury matter, that's not enough. Here at Williams-Deloitte, we're happy to provide a consultation on the amount of coverage you have in your vehicle. It can be confusing. Not many people understand it. You know you need to have it, but do you have enough? Give us a call today at 757-547-5555. We can help you prepare in case of an automobile accident or any other personal injury matter that you or your family will find yourself in.
Hampton Roads has a long-running high school and college sports tradition. It's time to give them the spotlight they deserve. This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
And we're with you here on 757 Saturday Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe. He is the Coach Ed Young, wearing blue today. I am Matthew Hatfield. Ed, it is a great weekend of sports action. And how about that finish in the Maury Bishop McNamara game, 38-35 triple overtime, and yours truly had to talk to a McCoy, Charlie McCoy, the kicker, which we'll hear in a little bit. But big weekend of college football, NFL 2, week number 2 in the league where they play for pay, although college games they play for pay too. Big matchup with Georgia.
For any athlete, making it to the top sometimes comes with a few steps back. That's why parents count on CHKD Sports Medicine, advanced diagnostics, treatment, and rehabilitation for sports injuries, just for young athletes like yours. With convenient locations across Hampton Roads and a whole team of experts here to keep your favorite player at the top of their game. CHKD Sports Medicine. Learn more at chkd.org or call the CHKD Sports Injury Hotline.
COVID pain.
Man, I had to get up early. I had to get up real early. Had some going ons last night, today, some even bigger going ons, and I'm ready to roll. But boy, I tell you what, I can't be doing too much more honky tonking, as you put it.
Oh, you honky tonked too late, didn't you?
Too late.
And you know who we're going to hear from later in the show? We're going to hear from my favorite gal, none other than Alexa. I can't say too much to Alexa because she'll start talking in the background. I got a new background today. You like it? You like it? I'm in a studio today. I'm in a studio. I got out of the house with the. I'm in a.
Well, the story, people, for those that are tuning in, and you've seen where he broke in the neighbor's house with the piano. Jeff Jones took care of that. Jeff Jones last week said, Hatfield, let me see you play that piano. And, of course, he couldn't do it because he don't know how. So now he goes in. I don't know where. We're going to find out. I got people working on it. He broke into somebody's place for a studio downtown Norfolk or Virginia Beach or somebody's studio. So anybody out there that owns a studio, quickly get there and see if Hatfield is in your studio.
Let's fire it up, though. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to do something a little different because you have it at your fingertips more than I do. Because, I had a long night. I mean, talk about a long night. I was in triple overtime game. Didn't get to out of Powhatan Field till almost midnight, it felt like. We're going to let you read the scores and go through them rapid fire with some quick reactions. So pick whatever district you want to start. Give them to the audience out there. It'll scroll across our ticker, too. And let's fire it up.
Well, let's do Bay Rivers first.
All right.
That's my district now.
You're so partial now with the Smithfield blue you have on today. Go ahead.
That's exactly right. I'm trying to get used to looking in blue. Thursday night. Let's go Thursday night first, in case somebody missed it. Grafton 38, Gloucester 9. Yes, Gloucester's Bay Rivers. They have dropped down from Peninsula District, and they are now the Bay Rivers. Grafton takes them down 38-9.
Will Garlick was there for VirginiaPreps.com. Go ahead. And he was also at this game, too.
One of your favorite teams of the year, Poquoson 21 tab 10, Lafayette 35, New Kent 8, Warrior Hill over Jamestown 56-16, and the game of the night, the Smithfield Packers 42, Bruton did not find the end zone 42-0.
Well, it was a lot nicer for your buddy Tracy Parker and the Packers to not make it as lopsided as the last time they played Bruton when they put up an 84 burger back in 2017. So they took it a little easier on them this go round. I'm going to do the Ed Young though and say, well, things went according to form. Matt, it went according to form. All my predictions were right and the status quo. Will say, though, to give you a little more insight because I do my homework and research, and Will was at the Poquoson Tab game, both 2-0. Tab had a field goal to end the half. I think it was maybe the first possession. It went to halftime up 10-7. Austin Conley, big play in the second half, and the Bull Islanders played great defense behind Conley and Carter Jones and company. Got it done 21-10, so an important win for them. They should beat Grafton next week to get to 4-0. BRD was according to form, as you like to say. So let's go to the next district. Next.
Eastern District, where they played each other. Two teams from the same district, that being Eastern. Churchland 47, Granby stubbing their toes this year, 18. That was out of Eastern District. Now you want to say, well, was there any other Eastern District game? We already said Maury over Bishop McNamara 38-35, 3 overtimes. We're going to talk more about that one later. Manor 56, Lakeland 6, Lake Taylor 39, Deep Run 7, and Verina 58 zip on Norcom. And Norview, game that is the one I missed. Norview 20, Woodside 6.
You and I both missed that one. Yeah, you and I both. I took Woodside on a hunch there with the seniors. Although Carlin Farabee's group bounces back from the Denby lost last week to get to 2-1. They beat Great Bridge in week 1. Big win for Hank Sawyer and company. You perked up there with Keon Johnson and Madrigal Clark getting off to a good start. Devon Powell scoring 2 to beat Deep Run, who was undefeated by 32. And I got to shout out my man, Coach Leon Scott out there at Churchland. I've been hearing why they aren't in my top 10 on Virginia Preps in Class 4. They got the area's leading passer in the 7.57 and Logan Wynn, just a sophomore. Remember, you saw Dontrell Leonard, the coach of Truckers, during our preview show. Ed, remember that conversation we had with Dontrell, brick by brick, where they're building bricks with Aki Hayes Jr., a freshman, and senior Keith Williams in the backfield. So they got the older guy, the young cat. Churchland's going to be undefeated when they play Maury. Now, it could get a little tough then, but hey, maybe we need to give Churchland some more love in Region 4A, where it seems like Phoebus, Lafayette, Hampton are the top mantle. Maybe Churchland belongs possibly on that mantle. We'll see how they do when they measure up with Maury, and even when they play Lake Taylor in the weeks to come. But they're starting to show that they could be a little for real here.
Yeah, I think we definitely got to give I'm already giving them some love, but you're going to have to do a little bit better job in that. Southeastern District, I already gave you Lakeland getting throttled by Manor. So let's go. Kings Fork 34-0 over Deep Creek. Western Branch 30, Hickory 13. Indian River 28-7 over Great Bridge, and Nansemond River 61-0 over Grassfield.
I told someone on Friday night in the press box, and by the way, I got to get my man's name. A shout out to him. He watches the shows and the podcasts and stuff. We're also Tony Kornheiser podcast buddies. Dyrri, my man, gave the flush the mouse reference. I got to get his name next time we're on the pod, though. But I told him and some others in the box that Nansemond River is the offense to watch out for in the Southeastern District behind that quarterback that we heard from in our preview show, Tyrell Grant, going to Syracuse. They got some receivers, and Alonzo Rick's crew putting up big numbers. Oscar Smith was on bye. Good win for Western Branch. Something's brewing for Coach Rashad Cook and company, 30-13 over Hickory. At Indian River, I thought their score would be wider with Great Bridge. They have Oscar Smith coming up in a week. That's a big game on a Saturday afternoon at Beard DeLong Easley Field. And Kings Fork had a little bit of a trouble time with the Hornets. It was only 7-0 at the half, but part of the what do you want to call it, hangover effect from the Wise game, and you also talked about last week, the coaches, breaking things and what they do with your viral clip that went with all the Kings Fork fans out there in Suffolk. So there you have it. Before we get to the rest of the districts, let's take a pause, and we'll have a timeout in a second. But before we take a break, I know you want to introduce the hero of the night from Friday Night Football, the kicker who got it done for the Commodores with the game winner.
I want to say this. This is a kicker. The kicker of this interview it's a kicker whose last name is McCoy, Chris by first name, who's being interviewed by a Hatfield who goes by the name of Matt Hatfield. How about that for a crazy kicker? So let's see what the McCoy had to say to the Hatfield. Hopefully no feud. Here on
A thriller here tonight at Powhatan Field in Norfolk as the Maury Commodores, reigning two-time Class 5 state champs, outlast Bishop McNamara Mustangs from Maryland. I'm here with the hero, Charlie McCoy. Field goal to win it, 38-35, triple overtime. When you woke up this morning, did you know your kick would be the deciding play in this game?
I did not. I just thought it was going to be a normal game.
What's more pressure-packed, the extra points in regulation, the one to extend the game after touchdowns, or the one there that can win it when it's still tied up? Take me through this, the mindset for all these big kicks.
I would say for the extra points, those were the big ones because you got to keep on going, especially when they score first.
Sure.
So you gotta really make that.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, you're now a perfect, like 12 for 12 on the year in PATs. Have you made all of them?
I missed one.
Oh, you did miss
first one.
Okay, so
Yeah.
since then you've been knocking them through.
Yes.
Games on the line there at the end. Chance to end this marathon. Take me through as you see it go through and you celebrate with your teammates. What's the thought process like? And
I just really couldn't believe what I did. But as soon as I made contact with the ball, I knew it was going in, but I didn't fully feel it until everyone started storming the field.
a lot of great players on this football team, and certainly you guys had to replace a lot to graduate.
Hampton Roads has a long-running high school and college sports tradition. It's time to give them the spotlight they deserve. This is 757 Sports Talk.
Usually it's Hatfield. That's why I try to tell everybody, get on Hatfield. He is the legal scribe, the talking head that knows all this, puts the whammies on. We do things different on this podcast. That's why we're rated number 3 in the state.
When they score first,
Sure.
so you gotta really make
People
that.
all over the globe watching.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, you're now a perfect, like 12 for 12 in the year in PATs. If you made all of them,
I missed one.
Oh, you did
my
miss
first one.
okay. So since then, you've been knocking them through.
Yes.
Games on the line there at the end. Chance to end this marathon. Take me through as you see it go through and you celebrate with your teammates. What's the thought process like? And
I just really couldn't believe what I did. But as soon as I made contact with the ball, I knew it was going in, but I didn't fully feel it until everyone started storming the field.
a lot of great players on this football team, and certainly you guys had to replace a lot that graduated. The role of a kicker. Take me through what the coaches tell you, because a game like this is what, these moments you live for, right?
Yeah. I mean, definitely not. I would say the easiest position out of all these, especially with the great guys on this team. Mm-hmm. But when it comes down to the line, they expect you to make what you need to make.
Sure. Now, two more. Let you run here, Charlie. I'm sure you watch pro football, college football. I asked this to all the studs out here, the Isaiah Ike Simmons, the Tayshaun Branches. Who are their favorite players? You got a favorite kicker you watch in the NFL? Or
I do not. I like them all.
You like them all?
Yeah.
To win this game like this, what's it mean? I know you guys have some things to clean up, but it's got to be a sweet feeling, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Chuck the GOAT. They call him Chuck the GOAT. The Commodores win it in triple OT. Congratulations. Go enjoy it.
Thank you.
That was Chuck the GOAT, Charlie McCoy. He's the real McCoy. Ed, Commodores win it 38-35 in triple OT. Just so unassuming and, happy-go-lucky. I mean, heck of a job. And, he had to be thrown. In fact, I have to be able to see if I can show this up here. I'm going to do it, I think, because I think I can pull this off with the social media that we now have. It's so cool. Kickers are their own, it's their own breed, Ed. They're their own special, unique breed. And I love the fact, as we'll put it up here on the screen here in a second, as I pull it up here, it's taken me a lot of time to do it. But Andrew McClung, the kicker before Charlie. News travels fast on the internet. Look at Andrew. Beyond proud of my guy. The dedication and perseverance this young man has is unmatched. Continuing the legacy.
For any athlete, making it to the top sometimes comes with a few steps back. That's why parents count on CHKD Sports Medicine, advanced diagnostics, treatment, and rehabilitation for sports injuries, just for young athletes like yours. With convenient locations across Hampton Roads and a whole team of experts.
Maury kickers, special teams wins, big games and ball games, roll doors, he says. I love it. Kickers, they stay together through thick and thin.
That's cool. I like that. He calls him a young man, and he himself is one. Kickers are a different breed. He made a comment about he's expected. The team expects you. You sit over there on the sidelines the whole game. Practice, you don't take hits. You're not really running a bunch of gassers or whatever. You're hitting sleds. No, you're just kicking. So now when you come on the field, it's expected you make it. And this is what youngster has to line up for a game winner. And kicking in high school is dicey at best. And he's as automatic as it can be. And he's very nonchalant in the interview. But the best thing of the interview is Hatfield McCoy each have their own hairstyle. How about Chuck McCoy's hairstyle? That was helmet head if I've ever seen it. I wish I could get mine like that. It's all over the place. That's a kicker who has nothing to worry about. That was tremendous. I love that interview. Loved it.
Who would have thought he'd be talking to Hatfield and Larry Obama from the Virginia Pilot after a thrilling game with the Bishop McNamara Mustangs from Maryland? We've got more coming your way, including scores from other games around the 757. We'll touch on the Beach District and the PD. Plus, you'll hear from Isaiah Ike Simmons, the Pittsburgh commit, and Coach Dyrri McCain. It's all coming your way here on 757 Sports Talk. You're watching COVA Sports TV.
What makes a life a good one? Is it our adventures? or the friends we find along the way? Is it the challenges we conquer together? Maybe it's the people's lives we touch every single day. So, what makes a life a good one? You'll have to figure that one out for yourself.
What is more? Is it more reps, more strength, more stamina? We say it's all of that, but it's greater than just what's in the mirror. It's about improving your mental and physical health. More is a feeling of achievement, fulfillment, confidence. It's looking better, feeling better, being better, and it's our mission to get you there. Because here, you are more. One Life Fitness.
Portco is your local nonprofit organization.
All right, with the Maury All-State linebacker Isaiah Ike Simmons, 15 total tackles tonight, 8 solo.
For people with disabilities. We focus on abilities, not limitations, providing on-the-job vocational support. Find your pathway to employment. Contact us or learn more at portco.org.
All right, with the Maury All-State linebacker Isaiah Ike Simmons, 15 total tackles tonight, 8 solo, and a couple for losses. The Commodores outlast their opponent tonight, Bishop McNamara from Maryland, 38-35 in triple overtime. All right, Ike, when you woke up, did you know this game would take almost till 11 o'clock at night to finish up? This was a heck of a game, and probably one of the wildest you've been involved with.
Yes, sir. This was my first overtime game in high school ever. This is my closest game besides last week, and by far the most requiring, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
I did not expect it to take all of this, be here till 11 tonight, but we practiced for this.
You knew with some of the guys that graduated on the defensive front from the last couple of years, the guys like Fred Johnson is at South Carolina, C.J. Smith is at Maryland, Ari Wofford is at Clemson, among others, that there'll be more on your shoulders now as a senior captain and linebacker. Just tell me what you and Javonte Hughes, who had a bunch of tackles like you tonight, just the responsibility was against this team that was really running at you guys full throttle much of the night.
We just knew we had to hunker down and be men at the end of the day. We practice for this at the end. At the end of every practice, we have a long red zone period. So the run is nothing foreign to us, and we're familiar with this situation.
And being in those gut check games the last 2 weeks with Veroni and Cardinal Gibbons had to help you. It's 2nd and goal, 35 all. You show the closing speed. Take me through that play because it really felt like that was what got the momentum for you guys to pull this out tonight before Charlie McCoy's game-winning kick.
Yes, sir. Well, that's something we practice. We know when they want to run the ball, where they want to run the ball, and who the guys who can get there. I actually have flashbacks to our game 2 years ago, Highland Springs, when they came here to a similar play like that, blitzing up the middle and tackle for loss in a big situation.
2 more, let's run. To have that moment and kind of what you study on film and have it come to fruition and play out the way it did. What's that like for you as a player? Because I see you get super fired up, your teammates do. It has to be really gratifying, right?
Yes, sir. It just shows what we worked for in that moment. We practice hard, we finish hard, and we deserve that.
What's going through your mind when you see Chuck McCoy hit the game-winning field goal there?
Chuck, my guy, Chuck. Hey, I tell him every day he's the guy. If y'all don't know, I dap him up before every kickoff I'm out there. I have all faith in Chuck. Chuck and number 8 in the backfield. I got all faith in them. Never question them.
Perfect. And last one, I lied. You got a big game this week. Pittsburgh, West Virginia. What's going to happen? Tell me about the Panthers and Mountaineers.
You know the Panthers up. It doesn't matter where they at, home, away. It's the backyard ball. Let's go. 3:30, I believe.
Think so?
Yes, sir.
There you go. Isaiah Ike Simmons, the pick commit from the 2-time state champion Maury Commodores. Congrats on the marathon win tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk with Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
So you heard from the 3-time All-State linebacker Isaiah Ike Simmons committed to Pittsburgh. Ed, and a big one. He's right indeed. His Panthers going to be taking on the Mountaineers of West Virginia. Country road.
Backyard brawl. He knows what it is, so he'll be part of that. I just heard that they extended that series. I think they're going to take the next 3 years off, and then it's going to come back until 2036. So he may not be in a lot. He may only be in one of them. Looks like so. But that is big between Pitt and West Virginia. West Virginia not having starting off kind of sluggish this year, but great interview with him. The kid's very confident. He talked a lot about we do that in practice. That's not a surprise. We work on that. He knows he wants the big hit. He wants the big tackle. That's what he wants to be known for. He did that in the ball game, key one. No surprise by him. Guy looks really chiseled too. That's a kid you don't want to meet head on anywhere. I mean, that kid looks like he's going to hit you, and he's going to hit you. Did show great love for McCoy, the kicker. He called him Chuck-a-Tuck, a little place in Suffolk. So that's cool too, that's how they support each other on that. And again, it's hard for kickers to get true love because when they miss that kick, boy, they get some side eye. But Chuck hit it tonight, so everybody has a good feel for him. But Simmons is going to be doing some more big things this year.
You don't want to be like the Bears kicker from Monday night against the Vikings or Scott Norwood or someone of that ilk. But I think people forget Ed Maury graduated 9 all-state performers, 6 of which are playing Division I college football, 5 at Power 5 schools. And Ike Simmons, one of the guys going to a Power 5 or Power 4, P4 school in Pitt. So there you have it. We'll get to more from that game, including my reaction to it because I was there blogging it live. And we'll hear from Coach Dyrri McCain in a bit. But let's fire back up the music and get you some more scores around the 757. I think we left out the beach, the peninsula, and the private schools. So where are we going to close this puppy out?
We're going to go across the water to the PED. All right. I said earlier.
No PEDs here. No performance-enhancing drugs. No. Just PD. No PEDs.
Yeah, that's right. PD. Let me just do PD. Let me go PD. I did say earlier Woodside lost to in a non-PD game. They lost to Norview. That score was 20-6. But teams that played against each other in the PD. Let's go with Hampton 60. Mansfield 7, no doubt about that one. We had that one. Phoebus 49-7 over Denby. Now remember, Phoebus, that was their first game. They got the latest start of anybody, but in stride 49-7. And then on Thursday, Kickingham beat Heritage 34-12. And later today, we've got Warwick at Bethel. So that takes care of Peninsula District. What you got?
Well, Marcus Chapman, I'm feeling pretty good about him as my Peninsula District Offensive Player of the Year, Ed, for the Crabbers, who have some tough games that are awaiting with Bethel, Warwick, and Phoebus. Remember that Phoebus game is going to come on a Thursday this year. At least that's what it's scheduled for at Darling Stadium with the great sounds of one Jim Schaffner on the mic on the 16th of October. Our man Bill Nettles has the mic with Dominic Velarde over at Todd Stadium, but it's now 67 consecutive wins in the district for Jeremy Blunt and company, 50 wins, giving them 2 shy in a row, that is, of the state record that they share with Riverheads. But Tyree Diggs, 130 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns in the first half alone. Denby got a score on that Phoebus defense, but I think the Phoebus offense is going to kick it into high gear a lot earlier this year as the Phoebus defense and the line play gets things figured out. So Phoebus, they're right there. I know you are still quibbling with me that they should be number 1 in the state in Class 4, not Verina, who took Maury to the wire. But we'll have time to settle that come probably December. And, oh, by the way, Dinwiddie, who beat Helen Springs in overtime on the road on Friday night, they could have something to say in that Class 4 picture before it's all said and done. So, yeah, the PD went according to form, like you tend to say. Let's go to the beach where you got one wrong, but I got one right, and I have my water bottle, baby. Look at that water bottle. Dun, 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 dun.
He gets one right, and he thinks he's going right. And he failed to mention before we started the show, this guy leads in the picks overwhelmingly. So I'm going to give him this one.
Well, you got one, Ocean Lakes and Tallwood. Thanks a lot, Dolphins. You let me down like Miami with Tua and company.
Yeah, and I didn't brag. See, I'm not going to brag because what for? I know what I'm doing. But I did not get this one right. Kempsville knocks off Bayside 37-20. I went with Bayside in a close one. John White, come on now. All right, we let him pick his alma mater, this guy, and they win. Remember now, that's 6 years of his life, Kempsville High School. He has yet to see a classroom. Also, in the Beach District, here's the other one that I got right. He didn't. Tallwood 25-7 over Ocean Lakes. Had a feeling with Tallwood. Had a feeling. Cox 48-7 over First Colonial. That was a hurting. Green Run 74-0 over Princess Anne. Wow. And Salem over Lansdowne 28-14 in a game that I thought would be close. So what you got on other than your getting Kentsville right and Ocean Lakes wrong, what would you think, Beach District?
Well, if they didn't have a running clock, Greenwood would have hit triple digits in that game. MJ Lemke back at quarterback for Tylee-Noe's Falcons, who lost to Bayside last week. They outgained the Patriots 366-88. Sorry, James Timmons and all UFC grads out there. But, look, really good win for Kempsville. I mean, let's be honest here. That running game with Robert Hughes, 32 rushes for 247 and 2 touchdowns. This player of the week material right there. Our man Joshua Hawley, who we spoke to in the summertime, going to Hampton U, had touchdown passes to Samir Kroom, James Rutherford V, and Jalen Batty. Max Clutterbuck did a good job on his PATs and kicking, and Elijah McDaniel, 10 tackles, 5 for loss, couple sacks, and a pick. Kempsville did not want to fall to 1-2, Ed, with Green Run still on the schedule this month. It was sort of a must-win game for Darrell Cherry and company, as they are now back in the mix as far as getting possibly a first-round home playoff game, being right there live with the Green Runs, the Salems, the Indian Rivers, and Region 5A. And now Base has to go back to the drawing board. They got off to a nice start, but they could easily fall to 2-2 if they cannot protect home turf next week in a key spot against Salem.
Yeah, that'll be one of the marquee games for next week when we talk about where we're going to send Matt Hatfield at. That'd be one to look at.
Is that the leader in the clubhouse right now, Salem at baseline? It seems to be the leader in the clubhouse right now.
I like it. I got to hear where some of the other games are, but that one would probably going to be close.
Well, remember, you have Thursday and Saturday games. That's a Friday night game. And the Smith Indian River game at Smith is a 1 o'clock kick over there at Oscar Smith. I'm always at that Smith River game. It'll be a big showdown in Chesapeake, Southeastern District Tilt. The following Saturday's Phoebus Warwick at Darling Stadium, also ODU Liberty that day in college football. But so there's some other options there that await. We still have to wait for Pocosa and Lafayette and the Bay Rivers. We still have to wait for, if anybody can give Maury a test in the Eastern, the Beach District game of the year, probably Green Run in Salem, which is not too far off in a distance. And we still have Oscar Smith King's Fort coming up in a couple of Fridays. So that's a biggie in the Southeastern District. It's right after the Smith River game. So Smith's got a couple biggies after their bye week with the Braves and the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and let's not forget Nansemond River, who put up 61 tonight.
Yeah.
So they could be a team that we're going to have to be talking a lot more about as time permits.
Let's also not forget about private schools, because you have
I want to give you those right now. I want to make sure we don't leave those guys out. Norfolk Academy 41-12 over Atlantic Shores. It was Catholic 14-8 over Roanoke Catholic in the Battle of the Catholics. And then we got Collegiate. Oh, this one I don't like. Collegiate 33, Nansemond Suffolk Academy 0. And Blessed Sacrament 40, Greenbrier Christian 22. First flight out of North Carolina. I think that's our buddy Tommy Austin. First flight 30-12 over Norfolk Christian. So,
and I thought Jim Prince was there at one time, and our other pal Mike Head, but I think Mike might have moved over to Currituck or something. I forget. You know, they're all down there listening and watching, and we always appreciate them interacting with us here on the program. So that does round it out. And Ed, pretty interesting night of action, but I got to be at the longest game that there was in the 757 or all of VA, and it was that Maury and Bishop McNamara game where Maury jumped out first, 6-0 lead, 3:47 to go in the first. Damo Everett, 35-yard touchdown pass to the JMU commit Elijah Moss Williams. And by the way, JMU must be doing something right when they're getting players from both Maury and McNamara, right, on their rosters, doing a good job there. They made it 14-0 with a crisp textbook 10-play, 67-yard drive, 13-yard TD from the junior Tayshawn Branch. And Maury's in full control. But when you jump off sides on 4th and 6 and the other guys are punting to make it 4th and 1, bad things can happen, can't they?
Yeah, that's not going to win it. I want to. You mentioned about Maury and McNamara guys going to James Madison, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let kids out there understand this. College coaches want players from winning programs. Sometimes we think a stud and the team's not doing well, and there's a disconnect. I'm getting recruited because I'm good. If you're on a good team, your chance of getting recruited are greater because they know you know how to win. They know you work. You know you're disciplined. They know the coach is pushing you. You react to it well. Keep that under mind. Help your high school team win, and then you might have that opportunity to play at the next level because that's what coaches are looking for. And speaking of coaches.
Well, real quick, let me finish what happened in that game, then you can set it up.
Oh, yeah, yes.
That fight song is playing. So they jump off sides. McNamara gets the ball. Tariq Denson gets a 3-yard TD run, and the Mustangs have 163 yards rushing at the half. They trail it by just 7. Third quarter, Ed, next thing you know, boom, boom, boom. McNamara's digging their way back in this game, and it's deadlocked at 14 all with 1:41 to go. 5 plays, 74-yard drive, all rushes. Donovan Barnes with a TD run from 10 yards out. And then McNamara forces Maury to punt it away, and they take the lead in the fourth quarter on a 1-yard TD run with 7:43 to play, courtesy of Dequan Thomas. They call him DK. 117 yards and 11 carries. And there's that JMU fight song. He's going to play for JMU. The other guy going to JMU, Elijah Moss Williams, trying to bring Maury back. His return gives him a chance. But they don't get enough out of it, and they have to punt it away with 5:10 to go. Can the Maury defense rise up? Yes, they can, because they have Ike on their side. I mean, Ike and Tina, or just Ike. Simmons gets it done for Maury. They get a 3-and-out, and Maury gets the ball back. And what happens from there? Damo goes to work. Everett, his older brother Dalen, playing for the Georgia Bulldogs. Woof, woof, against Tennessee on a Saturday in the SEC. And he gets the 2-yard TD run, and Charlie McCoy ties it up with his PAT with 1:38 to go. And we have extra fun in overtime thanks to Samuel Woods' huge sack on 3rd down. In the overtime, Maury, first one for Dyrri McCain in a long while. I'll tell you about that in a second. They're able to get on the board after Bishop McNamara does with a 15-yard TD pass on 3rd and goal. Commodores with Damo Everett, 2-yard TD run again. PAT is good for McCoy, so 28-28. We're going to play 2 OTs. Everett gets his 3rd TD run of the night, 3-yarder. McNamara's got it at the 10. They end up scoring with a 5-yard TD pass from KJ Underwood to Alex Springs, and they're going for 2, Ed. But they're not going for 2 because a penalty pushes them back 15 yards. And you're not going for 2 from the 18, are you? No.
No.
So they kick the extra point.
I know that.
Yeah, they kick the extra point, and it's good. So we play on in Norfolk. After 2 overtimes, Braylon Hampton makes that extra point from 18-yard line. They go to the 3rd OT, and Ike Simmons has that huge tackle for loss he talked about. Field goal from the 15 is partially blocked for McNamara, and then Maury wins it with Charlie McCoy's game winner from 25 yards out. We'll show it to you later on in the show again if you missed it. And Maury wins it 38-35. And I'm out of breath. And you know who else was out of breath? Was the guy that had to call the shots from the sideline.
Yeah, you had the opportunity to talk to the kicker, McCoy, who got the win, and of course Ike Simmons with the big play, and of course he's a standout performer going to University of Pittsburgh. But the maestro of it all, head coach Dyrri McClain, there is the guy we got to talk to see what was going through his head. And Matt had a chance to do it after the game. Let's see what happened in this conversation right here on Cova Sports TV.
All right, here with Maury head football coach Dyrri McCain of the reigning 2-time Class 5 state champion Commodores, who outlast Bishop McNamara of Maryland tonight 38-35 in triple overtime. Coach, believe this is the first overtime game you've been involved with as the head coach of the Commodores. Is that right?
No,
it's not?
Actually. No, I think 2017, my first year, I think we had, I want to say that we had one with Churchland, I want to say.
Okay, we'll have to tell our good friends at Four Seasons Football who didn't have that there. We looked it up. Last time was 1998 with Cadillac Harris, but it was only the second time in about 30 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to say it was Churchland.
We'll double check it, though.
But I'm, but who knows?
Who cares about the minutia? Well, let's talk about this game tonight. Heck of a battle. 38-35.
Yeah.
Your kicker, Charlie McCoy. You preach unsung heroes all the time. You had a couple last week with Javon Wiggins and Javonte Hughes with the defensive score in your comeback win over Verona. And your kicker, crucial tonight, makes all his PATs, and he was money in the bank.
Yeah, man. Chuck, man, he's he's been a guy that's just gotten so much better, man. He takes pride in what he does. He works his tail off. And I don't want to sound cliche about that, but he does really work his tail off. He takes hard coaching. The times that he does make some mistakes, we get on him. Yes, coach, I got you. He actually came to me with a suggestion about something early in the game. I told him that I would come back to it. But, he's earned the right to kind of be able to have some say-so. And with moments like that, man, and obviously the kick last week in Verona, him putting us up, and I think he had 2 big ones versus Cardinal Gibbons, 2 big field goals. So in this 3-game stretch, man, we know that we have a weapon in him. So if we need him, we're not going to flinch, and we have to use him. And just like in that situation right there, we didn't flinch using him. So to get through these 3 games, and you have 2 in Cardinal Gibbons field goals, you have a last-second or last-minute situation in Verona, and then you have this one here. Mm-hmm. Man, we got a good one in November, December.
Yeah, and he told me he missed his first kick of the year. Ever since then, he's made them all. PATs, field goals. Very unassuming, like you said. One guy his play's loud tonight. 15 total tackles, 8 of the solo variety, a couple for loss, was Isaiah Ike Simmons, the pick commit for you. 3-time All-State linebacker, that second and goal play. Without it, you might not walk out here with a win tonight.
No question. And again, he's a guy that needs to make that play in the moment, in the time, and we depend on that with guys like him. So, it's nothing new. But guys like that got to show up in that moment, and Ike did, and you know, that's what he does.
Going back to the decision with McCoy, I thought for a couple of times trying to get in your head, the mad scientist, that you might go for 2 to finish it up. Was it because of your kicker and knowing that there was a couple of times ball security night was not the best? Was it just take the more percentage play with the kick?
Yeah, it's you know, I really did think about that, honestly.
Okay.
I did. And I think if I had one more opportunity, maybe, you know, but I'm playing the odds of our senior experienced kicker. And then we still got a guy that's still trying to grow, and he's doing good for us right now, but Damo, you know, and we went with the experienced guy and Chuck, and that was the best decision for us at the time. But I think if we had one more, I think I probably would have went for 2. I thought about it a few times to do it, but we trust Chuck, man. We trust him to get it done. So I'm glad he did get it done.
2 more, let you run. Obviously, your young offensive backfield with the sophomore Damo Everett, 3 touchdown runs tonight, and your junior tailback in Tayshawn Branch, who I think finished up with like 179 yards on 27 carries, kept you alive in this game, showing some poise against a tough schedule here with Cardinal Gibbons, Verina, and here with Bishop McNamara. For your defense, to have guys like Simmons and Hughes also step up with them kind of gashing on the ground tonight. I know you're missing a key defensive back as well who's dinged up. What's it say to not flinch in those moments?
It just speaks volumes to the team, man. And like I told them after, like, one thing that I realized after these 3 games is that we have a team that knows how to fight, all the way down to the last second. I mean, all 3 games came down to last plays. So I feel good about that moving forward. We got a bye week next week. We'll clean up a lot of stuff that we need to. But this is definitely going to get us prepared for November, December, man. Seeing these crowds, seeing the moment, seeing it come down to the last minute and not beating somebody about 40-3 and all that type of stuff. So it's good to know in the beginning of September that we have a team that's ready to fight in November and December. So, yeah.
And lastly, bye week does come at a good time here. To have these 3 games out of the chute, you will see a little bit of a level off in the competition level with the Eastern District coming up. Is the challenge now for you and your coaching staff to keep them sharp and just get better game by game as you go on that quest for a 3-peat?
Yeah, I mean, we gotta take each opponent, and we have to definitely get better at things that we need to get better moving forward. Things that we need to take into November, December. We need to spend these next few weeks getting those together and done. And obviously not looking past an opponent, because that's how you can get clipped. So taking every opponent serious, and also making sure that we work on everything that we need to work on from these 3 games that we had a bunch of mistakes in.
Well, congrats on the win. Go get you a nap.
I will, man.
There you go. He said, I hope. We cut him off there before he could finish up. He did tell us he was also going to go take care of the little one. He's got a little relatively newborn, I think, in the last year. So that was Dyrri McCain after his team's thrilling 38-35 triple overtime win. As Coach McCain's Commodores moved to 2-1 on the season. It is Cova Sports TV and 757 Saturday Sports Talk. Like, share, and subscribe. Ed, your reaction, you know, he's a young coach who's been doing this now. Hard to believe. He talked about that last overtime game. He was right. It was Churchland. We did look it up. Our pals at Four Seasons did not have that right. But the last time that Maury was involved in an overtime game, we thought it was 1998 with Cadillac Harris, but it actually was Coach McCain's first season. And since he's been winning region titles ever since his second year at the helm, as they ended up beating Churchland on that night back in 2017 by a count of 24-23 in double OT. This one, a little higher stakes, a little different level of competition. So it was not as easy. Your thoughts on what he had to say there? And all 3 levels, or I should say all 3 phases, contributed in a key way to this win. Maury's not had about giving up 35 and some missed opportunities, but you win a game like this, it had a playoff type of feel in September.
Well, I mean, he's played 3 toughies. Now they'll get into Eastern District play and tested thoroughly. Has a loss on the record, which means now let's not worry about going undefeated, which can build pressure. And he just showed they are a complete team. They can score it with a lot of highlight offensive players. They can stop you with a lot of highlight defenders. And they got Chucky McCoy leading that special team. They can kick one if need be. It's a complete package. And, you know, for a young coach, he's done extremely well for himself. I look at him as a veteran. He's not an old head, but he's a veteran guy that's done a great job with that program. And, yeah, people are going to say, oh, yeah, man, he ain't got to do much. He got a bunch of talent. But he's got them clicking it the right way. He's got them, as he said, you don't want to look too far ahead of people because, as it quote him, you get clipped. I mean, you're going to lose. You've got to keep those youngsters focused on what's next. So I think they're going to be, even though Churchman presents an issue, I think they're going to be all right. And I don't see Maury losing the rest of the year.
I'm not sure they do either. There are some teams in Class 5. I will say this, the last couple of years, I kind of figured you could engrave Maury's name on the trophy. I'm not as convinced with that, with what Green Run's doing, what Kings Fork's doing, and Highland Springs and Stonebridge are going to be heard from. And those are two programs that have beaten Maury before in the state playoffs. So there's not that fear factor, if you will. But you know this, being a coach, a veteran yourself for 30-plus years on the hardwood, the coaches that are young generally don't have the demeanor that he does. Calm, cool, calm, and collected. Are usually spazzing out in moments of crises. Things can be in panic mode, and he doesn't seem to flinch at all. And I think that when you do that as a young coach, it rubs off on your players to react and respond in these pressurized situations, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think the key there is he's very confident, in what he does, coaching staff does for the program, what they present for the kids to do. And again, the trick in coaching is to get what you got in your head out on the field, on the court, and those players go through it. They do what you want, and they go through it well, makes it even better. And, yeah, sometimes when coaches are overly emotional in games and get crazy, players can kind of get that way too. When I was younger, I was like that in coaching, and now I tell the kids, look, you might see me going crazy, spastic on a sideline. That has different reasons. The ramifications for you, do what's asked of you, what we practice and do it that way all the time to the best of your abilities. That's your job, so to speak, when you're playing. Don't worry about me. I said they can be carrying me out, screaming and kicking, get thrown out by officials, whatever, throwing my coat in the stands, shoes out, whatever. No, you just play. You might have a laugh out of it, but you go and perform what we did in practice. And again, when I listen to him speak about his squad, they're thorough. They have fun with it. They're thorough. And he wants to make sure this is how we do things and that he wants to get it done the right way.
Before we go to break, and we have some neat things coming your way here on 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV, including either, neither, or both, and NFL picks for week number 2. I want to get your quick take as we go to break on this because some people interact with me on the IG Hats Hit Special and through social media, and I'm sure we'll be on our message boards on VirginiaPreps.com. So Maury is considered number 1 in the 757. Phoebus is won 50 in a row. They say, what gives? We deserve more respect. And Oscar Smith is saying, hey, we won a state championship in the largest classification, Class 6, last year, and none of them had to play Gonzaga out of D.C. We're the best big dog around. So settle it for us. 3 defending champs from the 757. Oscar Smith in 6, Maury in 5, Phoebus in 4. Who's the best, or are you going to cop out here? Don't shake your head. Feet to the fire.
They're the best.
Oh, your wrong answer, by the way. Go ahead.
They're the best in their classifications. Okay?
You cop out.
Now, if you're going to say to me, well, they all play each other. Well, they can't because it's 3 teams.
I'll say this, by the way. Last year, I would have said Maury's the best. The year that Phoebus hammered Oscar Smith, I'd have said they were the best. And I might have said the COVID year, Oscar Smith was the best. And that was before the Lonnie Andrews, Travis Johnson core that they have now. So I might be rotating from year to year to year. But if they all played each other this year, the way that kind of it's set up, I wouldn't be surprised if they beat each other up. They played 10 times. Now, that's a very cop-out answer, but I'm not sure any of the 3 has distinguished themselves as definitively better than the other 2. Is that a fair thing to say, or is that unfair to say?
You can, because it's good for fan speak.
Yeah,
Who's
chatter.
better?
What is chatter?
Yeah, it's good. Just like the rankings, okay? It gets people, they're ranked 5th. What do you mean? They should be 4th, or you got them 2nd. They should be 9th. I get on you all the time about rankings.
And by the way, there are people out there from Green Run, Kings Fork, Lafayette saying we can go beat them. So that doesn't have to be a 3-horse race.
Exactly right.
And it's beyond the 757 in VA. There's teams like for Ryan and Highland Springs and this team, that team. They're saying we can go beat them on a given day. What about us? But right now, it is splitting hairs. Do you have one over the other 2 right now? If you had to take one?
You know what? In all honesty, I don't want to sit here and say.
You are.
Yeah, I don't want to say. What stands out, Phoebus got how many district wins in a row?
50 total wins in a row, and then in terms of the Peninsula District, it's approaching 70 now, 67 consecutive. Their quarterback, Mauricus Banks, has never lost a football game that he started. But Lonnie Andrews and Oscar Smith are pretty darn good, and these Maury guys with the 3-time All-State linebacker Ike Simmons, they're nothing to sneeze at either. So, you're not going wrong with whoever you take of the three.
You're just going to make everybody else mad because they want to hear their team mentioned as the best. Oh, Hatfield and Young said Smith's the best, so we are, or Phoebus, or more. And then here comes Green Run and all the people saying he didn't mention us at all. He knows nothing.
I'll say this. Phoebus has done it the longest, the best of the three. But the thing that hurts them in this argument, and it's not their fault. I'm not blaming them, their players, coaches, administration, none of them. They haven't gotten the out-of-state opportunities that Oscar Smith and Maury has, being in the Peninsula District and given their schedule. They've beaten Holland Springs. They've beaten Oscar Smith. So they're not running or ducking anybody. I'm not saying that. I think Oscar Smith has the biggest name nationally, but I will say statistically what Maury's done the last 2 years with who they've played is probably the most impressive. This Maury team hasn't done what the last two teams have done. So you can look at this in a lot of different ways, and there is no right or wrong answer. That's what makes this whole thing fun. It's really fun. It would be great if they could all play each other in the same classification, wouldn't it? Oh, my goodness, it'd be a battle royale. It'd be like one of your WWE things you'll watch where, Hulk Hogan's beating up on Macho Man, who's then beating up on Stone Cold, who's beating up on the Ultimate Warrior, who's beating, that type of thing. So,
see, you're a bit out of touch because those guys are all done. Speaking of wrestling, there was a big SmackDown was at the Norfolk Scope last night. How about that?
My niece was there. My 9-year-old niece was there.
Oh, she saw good. And Brock Lesnar made appearance and got my guy, R-Truth, gave him.
You think her parents will allow us to interview her on the show next week? What do you think?
She'd probably be nervous. Be neat to see what she thought about the wrestlers. Who was her favorite? Was the best match?
She probably can give better analysis of what transpired than you or I can. Well, definitely better than I can. Maybe.
Yeah, you're a little bit out of touch with the wrestling. I'm trying to get you right, but you resist too much with the wrestling.
I'm going to tell her that Uncle Ed Young's going to take her to the next wrestling show with our buddy George Pantas, since you missed the last one in 757, and buy her all kinds of cotton candy, ice cream, all kinds of sugary treats. And then she's going to get to spend the night at Coach Young's house. Not my house, at Coach Young's house. How cool is that? Sleep over at Coach Young's.
No little ones in my house. That's a guarantee. That's not happening.
Stick around.
But there is a Virginia Championship Wrestling coming up in October. And George, the bad guy George, remember he turned in the last show.
Yeah, he's a heel now. He's
going to be coming on and tell us why and what happened.
And not a UNC Tar Heel, by the way. Our good buddy, the Greek god, we call him George Pantas. Stick around. We've got more coming your way on this edition of 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV, including either, neither, or both. And Ed Young sometimes picks either, neither, and both. You're watching Cova Sports TV. Stick around, baby. We got more coming your way.
What is more? Is it more reps? More strength, more stamina. We say it's all of that, but it's greater than just what's in the mirror. It's about improving your mental and physical health. More is a feeling of achievement, fulfillment, confidence. It's looking better, feeling better, being better, and it's our mission to get you there, because here you are more. One Life Fitness.
As a banker at Town Bank, we believe that people bank with people, not with banks. You're looking for an actual personal relationship, and that's what you get at our bank. You get that person that gets to know you, gets to know your business, is there for you. I think that is what motivates us, what drives us, and the idea that we are trying to serve others and enrich lives, I think is very true.
It's 757 Saturday Sports Talk with Matt Hatfield and the one and only Coach Ed Young, every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. on Cova Sports TV. From high school football and basketball to the NFL, MLB, college sports, and the NBA, if it's making headlines, they are breaking it down. Bold takes, big-time guests, and a few laughs, especially at the expense of that basketball coach Ed Young. Catch it on Cox TV and your view, and don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube at Cova Sports TV.
Hey Alexa, do you like me?
I think you're magnificent.
Aw, I appreciate that.
This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
That's right. We're back here on 757 Sports Talk. He is the Coach Ed Young. I am Matthew Hatfield. What are you shaking your head about now?
One automated machine says you're magnificent and you think that's your new nickname.
Hey.
Man, that Cardinal hat is weighing heavy on your head.
Happy about the win. Happy about the win. But, we can talk about that at a later time and date. Right now, it's time to play either, neither, or both. You ready for that?
Let's do all of it.
There you go. Our first either, neither, or both question. We do a lot of fact or fiction, buy or sell. I think it's our first installment of either, neither, or both here for the audience out there. Either, neither, or both. It's an NFL question. Daniel Jones, formerly of the New York Football Giants, now with the Indianapolis Colts. He will lead his team to a 2-0 start, Edward, after that nice win that they had in the opener over the Miami Dolphins. How about a 2-0 start for your Las Vegas Raiders with Geno Smith beating the LA Chargers, who got the W in Brazil over the Kansas City Chiefs? Either, neither, or both for these quarterbacks who changed conferences. Geno from the NFC with Seattle to the AFC with Vegas. Jones from Big Blue in the NFC to the AFC with the Colts.
I'm going to throw in neither will be 2-0 after next week.
Wow, you're on the neither train, huh?
I'm on the neither train for this. Chargers, nice win over Kansas City. Might be a little better than people expected. The Raiders, it's my Raiders. I said 8 wins, possibly 9. Don't see double digits.
How are they your Raiders? Did you buy stock in them or something?
I bought stock in them. I own 2%.
Okay.
And the Colts, okay, big win over Miami. All right, a lot of people don't like Miami this year. Now, I'm one that think Denver is a little bit overrated. I really do. I think they
got pushed by the Titans in week 1, yeah.
Yeah, they struggle. But I think they will beat Indianapolis.
Okay.
But so neither one of these guys is going to be 2-0.
Well, the lines are pretty tight. 3-point spread, Chargers favorite over the Raiders. And that, by the way, is part of a Monday night game on September 15th. And the Broncos-Colts game, 2.5-point road favorite are the Broncos. I'm going to actually agree with you with neither. I hate to do that, but that's where I'm going for this one. So that's the first one, and there you have it. Our second one on either, neither, or both. Let's go to college football, shall we? Both Georgia and Tennessee are set to square off in Knoxville this Saturday, September 13th, while Florida and LSU are going to hook up in Baton Rouge, Ed. What do you think? Either, neither, or both? The winners of those two games will make the SEC championship game. Is it another neither for you, or are you going to go with something different this time?
These are two really good games, even though Florida's coming on a disastrous loss to South Florida. Georgia is on my mind.
Oh,
and I would
you're going to bust out into a Ray Charles tune here?
Yes. And if they win, they beat Tennessee. Of all those 4 teams, they would have the greatest chance of being in that SEC championship. I think a great, great chance. LSU has a possibility, but I don't trust them. That's just me.
Really?
So I'll go Georgia in that. So that's an either.
You don't believe in Brian Kelly with his accent, huh?
Well, he ditched that real quick, which he should have. That was a foolish.
What about
thing.
Garrett Nussmeier? Is this a Heisman Trophy game for Garrett Nussmeier? I think he could be the quarterback for the Tigers.
Well, after Florida loses, so Florida, I think people are going to expect LSU to win it, maybe need to win it. Not a good showing in a loss, I don't think will work for them. If Florida loses to LSU, which is a good possibility, Florida people are going to be maybe as mad as the Alabama people about Caleb DeBoer and your man, Willie. Blitz Willie.
Oh, yeah. Blitz Bama Blitz.
Blitz Bama Blitz.
I don't give a darn about nothing but the Tide. Blitz Bama Blitz.
Roll Tide. We gotta get Willie on here one day.
We do. We might have to get him censored though. People don't know who he is. He's a social media viral sensation like our buddy Frank the Tank with the Mets and your buddy Nick Turturro with the Yankees, although he's famous anyways from his acting. I'm going to actually agree with you again with either here. I think Georgia's going to beat Tennessee, although I like this new Tennessee quarterback, by the way. A lot better than the guy Nico they lost to UCLA, who is struggling right now. I think Tennessee has enough line pieces to play Georgia close, but the Bulldogs have more NFL-level guys. Aguilar, by the way, the quarterback for Tennessee. Joey is really good. Florida's got to get something to help DJ Lagway here. The defense was okay, not great. The skill people, backs and receivers, have to play a lot better. I think Georgia will get there. I'm not sure the winner of Florida LSU gets there because Texas might get to the SEC championship. Remember, they lost that game to Ohio State, but doesn't count in the league standings. And Arch Manning bounced back nicely in game number 2. They have a lot of talent. You could certainly see a couple of other SEC teams get themselves in the mix as well. So I'm with you. I don't think both winners make it. I think one is probably Georgia. So that's going to be my choice, like yours. We're agreeing too much here. Here's baseball, which I know we won't agree on. Aaron Judge, you're a Yankee fan. AL MVP. Shohei Ohtani, NL MVP. Will they fail to repeat because of Kyle Schwarber and Cal Raleigh? Schwarb's of the Phils, Raleigh, the big dumper with Seattle, who's up to, 54 home runs now? He's hitting them every day. He set a record for catchers. That's a lock to me. Sorry to your guy, Judge, who's great. And, I really want to say both, but Ohtani pitching might be the thing that helps him. What do you think here? I'll let you go first for either, neither, or both on this one.
Well, I don't have it in front of me. I got to see Raleigh's other stats, batting average, so forth. I know he's an excellent defensive catcher, and of course, he's shown this year he's probably going to get to 60, and I hope he does. I hope he does get that. He's this close.
Up to the second stats. People will be watching this after maybe stats are updated, but at the moment, 243 average with 53 homers and 113 ribbies, 14 stolen bases, by the way, for a catcher out of North Carolina. For your man Aaron Judge, in terms of other statistics that he has, you're looking at a guy that trying to help New York catch Toronto atop that American League East Division, batting .321 with 43 homers, 97 ribbies, and the stolen bases, well, not quite as high for one Aaron Judge. Has been walked 104 times this year, and his steals currently sitting at 11. Believe it or not, it's amazing Raleigh has more steals. I got to go with Raleigh here. The big question, though, to me is Ohtani versus Schwarber. I would give it both to Raleigh or Schwarber, but I'm going to go with either. I have a bad feeling that Shohei's going to get it just because he pitches 2 innings a game, and the voters are so infatuated with Shohei Ohtani for whatever reason. I know he's great, but let's settle down. He's not Babe Ruth. I know he's great. He's not Babe Ruth.
I'm going to say, without trying to be prejudiced to my guy Judge, my favorite player on my favorite team, and I think he's dipped because the team is dipped. Now, if they were to overtake Toronto and win the division and Judge somehow get to 50 home runs, I don't think he will. He'll get over 100 RBIs. Hopefully he keeps his average up in that 320, maybe hit 330 if he gets really hot. Would have a shot. But I don't think Schwarber would get Ohtani. So I'm going to have to say neither.
Wow, you're going neither. I'm going either. I one of those guys is going to get it, and Raleigh to me gets it regardless if Seattle makes it or misses. Let's go to our fourth one here, and either, neither, or both. Back to college football, shall we? Clemson will suffer its not Sion loss. We'll get that fixed here on the screen. Apparently the typing errors are happening yet again for our system. There we go. Clemson suffers its second loss of the college football season on September 13th at Georgia Tech, and Alabama's going to drop its second game of the year at home to Wisconsin, Ed. Now, it was a tough game for Clemson against Troy. They were losing. Double figures for Dabo. What's wrong with the guys? Alabama, meanwhile, they responded from the season opening loss to Florida State by whacking, and I do mean whacking, ULM. That is Louisiana Monroe. So what do you think here on this one? Either, neither, or both? This is not cut and dry now.
No, both Georgia Tech and Wisconsin are not flukish teams. They put a product on the field that can win games, and they're not afraid of big teams. Alabama and Clemson, they're just not quite what people thought they would be. But I'm going to go out on the limbs. Maybe it's not even going out on the limb. Clemson wins, Alabama wins. So this is neither. We'll go.
Neither. Wow. You're going with the neither here on this one.
Yeah,
Clemson, Georgia Tech is dangerous, but I'm going to tell you what, I think, I mentioned it to you earlier, we got to get a lookalike comparison for a future show. Kalen DeBoer, he's on the hot seat. He looks like John Cena. He needs to get in the wrestling ring with John Cena and make that his new career because he's not going to be coaching in Tuscaloosa for long. I think they take the L, Ed, and I think, thus, you're looking at a situation where Bama's 1-2. Clemson, I do think, will eke it out against Georgia Tech. So I will go with either. Not a neither, and not a both. And our last one here for either, neither, or both. Back to the National Football League. Aaron Rodgers, he will lead the AFC in touchdown passes. Meanwhile, Baker Mayfield, whose Bucs outlasted the Falcons 23-20 to go with Rodgers with his new team in Pittsburgh, eking it out 34-32 over the Jets, Jets. His old team, Mike Tomlin, the Denby grad and William & Mary product, coaching Pittsburgh to a 1-0 start. 3 TDs for Mayfield in the opener, 4 for Rodgers in the opener. They'll lead their respective conferences in TD passes this year. Either, neither, or both. If we're saying both, we're super bold.
Well, it's neither. Calm down. Rodgers surprised me with 4. I thought maybe a couple. I'm okay with Baker getting it, but I don't think he's going to end up leading the NFC. No, it's neither.
You know, you thought that went out pretty well because it is possible for one of these two guys to do it. And believe it or not, while Rodgers, the age is a question for him, he probably has the better opportunity. And you say, why is that, Matt? Go ahead, say it. Why is that, Matt?
Why? I thought you would say Baker, but so why do you think Rodgers?
Well, because, you know, Mahomes, Allen, Jackson, they're set up a lot with their running games. They may not throw as many TD passes, but it may be an easier path for Mayfield in the NFC, given that there's not as many named quarterbacks that you think right to mind, like Allen and Mahomes and Jackson, and even a young guy like Herbert, who's on the rise with the Chargers, among some others that are, you know, on the periphery. I'm going to go neither like you, though. I think it's too hard to do it when you're taking a field like that, and it's one column, one category. So you're basing it off of just one game of the whole sample size. And one of those guys could get hurt, especially Rodgers with his age, and you take the hits. If you miss a couple games, you're out of the running there. But if one does it, Rodgers might be the guy of the two because he has something to prove this year and off to a fast start. He's a leader in the clubhouse just like Mayfield here.
The guy in the AFC that hits my head is Burrow because of receiving.
There you go, Joe Burrow. Yeah, it's one I forgot. And he's going to have a chance.
And the type of receivers he is. And they do throw a lot. NFC, it's hard to pinpoint down. You know, it's a crazy name. Prescott with Dallas. He's got some good receivers.
Playing from behind, throwing a lot. Jalen Hurts is going to run a ton. Matthew Stafford's got injury, concerns, so it's not as cut and dry.
Yeah, and Jalen Daniels of Washington, I wouldn't put it past him either.
Runs a lot, though, like Jackson, runs a lot.
Yeah,
so if you're talking about touchdown runs, different story. And by the way, in Baltimore's case, you got Derrick Henry taking some away from you, and we'll see if Washington has to throw a lot. They might have some leads, and they can run the clock out a little bit. So that's going to wrap up either, neither, or both. It is 757 Sports Talk, and you're watching with us all the time on Cova Sports TV.
Did you know that the minimum limits in Virginia are $30,000? $30,000 is a lot of money on an individual basis, but if you're involved in a personal injury matter, that's not enough. Here at Williams-Deloitte, we're happy to provide a consultation on the amount of coverage you have in your vehicle. It can be confusing. Not many people understand it. You know you need to have it, but do you have enough? Give us a call today at 757-547-5555 so we can help you prepare in the case of an automobile accident or any other personal injury matter that you or your family may find yourself in.
For any athlete, making it to the top sometimes comes with a few steps back. That's why there's CHKD Sports Medicine. Advanced diagnostics, treatment, and rehabilitation for sports injuries, just for young athletes like yours.
What's up at DQ? Oh, just the best deal ever. The $7 bacon cheeseburger meal deal. Bacon cheeseburger, fries, drink, and a sundae. No time to be modest. It's all full size for just $7. Right now at DQ. Happy tastes good.
I don't think there's any question that the coach under the most pressure in the Commonwealth is Brent Pry, simply because there are higher expectations at Virginia Tech than anywhere else as well there should be. It is first and foremost a football school. It's what the fan base cares about. It's just culturally built in there, part of the fabric. And Brent Pry returned an awful lot of talent last year and did not produce. And now he's flipped the roster. He has two new coordinators. One departure was of his choosing. He dismissed defensive coordinator Chris Marv. The other was a bit of a surprise. Offensive coordinator Tyler Bowen left for the O-line job at Ohio State. And the two new coordinators, Sam Cephas comes from the NFL. He's never coordinated at the FBS level. He was an FCS coordinator at Wofford. And Philip Montgomery comes in. He's been a head coach at Tulsa, was the head coach in Frank Beamer's final game, the Independence Bowl. So it will be a very pressurized season in Blacksburg, and one that starts with two non-conference games against SEC opponents, South Carolina against Shane Beamer, and Atlanta next Sunday, and then the following Saturday in Blacksburg against Vanderbilt and Diego Pavia, a team that beat the Hokies in last season's opener in overtime at Vanderbilt.
This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
Back here on 757 Sports Talk, ready to talk some college football with all of you. Couple of tough losses for the Commonwealth powers from the ACC. Not really powers, but you get the drift. Virginia Tech and Virginia Ed. The Hokies of Virginia Tech had a double-digit lead, and it vanished for them in a game against Vanderbilt. Skip Bayless U outscoring them 34-donut in the second half after the Hokies had a comfortable, and I do mean comfortable, 20-10 leader. So they fought some woes on defense, much like it is for UVA, who fell at NC State 35-21. They led their football game by 10 points as well. Got 150 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns from Jamari Taylor. Receivers like Trell Harris and Cam Ross contributed well, but tackling somewhat optional for these two for stretches.
It's amazing that the defense is the problem, especially for Tech. Tech used to be that top 25 power. Virginia not in that mode, but better than what they're showing. Tech toss-up game, in my mind, to Vanderbilt. One of those key games where I think they would win it. It's at home. Vanderbilt's not one of the powers in the SEC, but they're not a pushover. And now they've got Old Dominion coming in for Tech. We know what's happened in the past there at times. Old Dominion flying high off a major, big 55 whatever win over at Central. I saw the game but didn't see the final score because I left early. They did great in all three phases of the ball game. Of course, Virginia Tech is not North Carolina Central. But I think that game may be closer than most people think, and Old Dominion will give them a bad game, but I think Tech prevails. UVA, season's going the way I kind of thought it was. State would beat them. They're going to struggle to get to bowl eligibility, and I still look at it in that manner. A lot of people thought Tech may get back to that 8, 9, 10 win type season, but it could be a struggle for them too.
Yeah, 54-6 for the Monarchs over NC Central when you decided to depart early. You weren't alone in that one. Colton Joseph looking good at quarterback. A little bit dicey at times for ball security, but the defense has been mighty consistent, even against Indiana in that opener. But one guy they'll be missing defensively, Ed, is the two-time All-American, the national tackle leader for a couple years there, and Jason Henderson, who took to Instagram over the weekend to say that he is stepping away from football. Very tough for Coach Ricky Ronnie and the Monarchs, Henderson's teammates. You've been in those coaching decisions, those locker rooms where a key guy leaves. This is never easy, but you got to unify the group and keep them together, right?
Yeah, the thing here with Jason, he played such a high level. He was considered one of the top quarterbacks in the country. I think he was up for running for Chuck Bednarik Award, which is top linebacker in the country. Phil Steele mentioned him on our show, but he's had almost every injury possible to his knees. And he's the type of kid who's not going to play half. He's going to play all the way or he's not going to play. And he made that heartfelt decision, I'm not going to play. And, smart. You got to be able to walk in life and not limp the rest of your life. So it's tough for Jason. Maybe he'll stick around with the Old Dominion team as maybe a student coach, especially with the linebacker core. Maybe that could be his next way to stay close to the game, though I know it won't be easy for him because he wants to play. But I think it was smart. He hasn't played in a bit, so they kind of already taken care of that position. But it's really feel for the kid. He's a great player.
Absolutely. And, what else is interesting is Old Dominion's got a couple other in-state opponents of note with Liberty at the end of the month and James Madison, their Sunbelt rival. UVA's got their former coach and Mike London on deck. The Tribe taking on the Wahoos coming up this weekend. And speaking of former coaches at UVA and Old Dominion, when we come back, we've got the former basketball coach, Jeff Jones. He'll stop by to talk about a coaches clinic that's on deck right here on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe, and keep it tuned. It is 757 Saturday Sports Talk. Okay, folks, this is the Norfolk Tides Suite Press Box. Take a look at this. Good stuff right here. You got the TV, you got the table, you got, hold on, wait. You even got Coach Ed Young in the house. What are you doing here?
Watching some good baseball, minor league baseball with my future Yankees and some future Orioles coming on up.
Unbelievable. They let anybody in Harbor Park's press box. Unbelievable. Can't believe it.
For any athlete, making it to the top sometimes comes with a few steps back. That's why parents count on CHKD Sports Medicine, advanced diagnostics, treatment, and rehabilitation for sports injuries just for young athletes like yours. With convenient locations across Hampton Roads and a whole team of experts here to keep your favorite player at the top of their game. CHKD Sports Medicine. Learn more at chkd.org or call the CHKD Sports Injury Hotline.
Cova Painting. We don't just paint, we transform spaces. Visit covapainting.com or call 757-550-7357 and mention the Sportsplex for 10% off of projects over $1,000.
What's up at DQ? Oh, just the best deal ever! The $7 Bacon Cheeseburger Meal Deal. Bacon cheeseburger for a limited time, plus fries, drink, and a sundae. Yeah, this is not the time to be modest. It's all full size for just $7. And there's bacon on that burger. The $7 Bacon Cheeseburger Meal Deal. Now, for a limited time on the $7 Meal Deal lineup. Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
What does happiness mean to you?
What do you call a crab that throws things? Fortunately, this one doesn't do it. But you call a crab that throws things a lobster.
And now back to Matthew Hatfield and the evil basketball coach. Blast you, Ed Young!
You a big fan of lobster?
No.
Really?
Nope. Lobster, neither crab, nor fool in the pool. None of those.
You're not a lobster bisque guy? I always took you for a lobster bisque guy.
not real big into seafood, believe it or not really that big into seafood.
Oh, listen, I've been on a seafood diet. I see it and I eat it.
You eat it? Yes, sir. I know you do that.
Let's fire it up, shall we? We got the NFL picks for a week number 2 in the league where they play for pay. And ladies and gents, I'm saddened to report that the coach drinking his water.
I should pour it all over me.
You should. That'd be great. I wish we could do the ice bucket challenge that you never did, by the way, as you take your sip and you're so excited.
I can pull it up and show you. Yep. This guy's leading to high school. This guy's leading to college.
You're not leading to college. No. We haven't done a college pick 'em yet. By the way, both of our upsets were winners. And you got one. You're going to go with Vandy with Diego Pavia to go win in Columbia and beat Shane Beamer and the Gamecocks?
I got a feel. It's a feel. It could be indigestion, but I'm going to go with it.
All that food you had at the coach's social Friday night in Charlottesville, no doubt.
Yeah, that was some honky tonk.
Yeah, all right. Meanwhile, I just had cold wings that they were sitting there for about 35 minutes because I ordered them and the game was still going in overtime. Number 1, number 2, number 3. That's so funny. All right, let's get to it. You're up first. Take your pick. I know you're going to take that Browns-Ravens game out of the shoot. Sorry, Bob Lanham. I don't think he's taking your Brownies, but he could. He could shock me and you.
Trying to bait me. I got this guy. I'm taking my time. Pick who I want. I'm going first. And I'm going with Lizzo's team, the Minnesota Vikings.
Who? Lizzo?
Lizzo's rapper. She's tremendous. She's the best.
Is she a candy rapper?
Watch out for the big one. Don't go there because you don't know who Lizzo is. Don't go there. But Minnesota Vikings, 3.5 underdog with the Atlanta Falcons in Minnesota. I think they cover that. Win outright.
Sunday night game, you're going with the Vikes after their thrilling come-from-behind win on Monday night against the Bears. So you like J.J. McCarthy, the great McCarthy, as they call him. All right, that's pick number 1 for you. I get the next 2 selections. By the way, you won last week with the Bucks minus 1.5. They squeaked by 23-20 over the Falcons, so you're going against Atlanta 2 weeks in a row. You also won on Pittsburgh over the Jets, by the way, 34-32. You took over 37.5. That was an easy winner for you. You lost on Bengals minus 5.5, who survived the Brownies 17-16.
Let me make. I said this last year. You always try to put dust on it. I might have lost it because of spread, but outright winners, I'm like 88% because Cincinnati did win that.
No, that doesn't mean anything. Outright winners, by the way.
Tell that to the people that win. Don't mean
I
anything.
had Denver minus 8.5, and those SOBs did not win by 8.5. They came oh so close, just barely missed it. In their opener against Cam Ward and the Titans. Had the Giants plus 6.5. Miss McCain, your G-men let me down. 21-6 loss to the Commanders. Jaguars, 26-10, minus 3.5 was a winner for me. By the way, Bruce Pearl was 1-2. He had the Jags like I did. I copied him or he copied me. Lost on the Pats minus 2.5 to your Raiders. The Raiders winning 20-13. And he lost on over 47.5 Bucks and Falcons. Oh, it was close, Bruce. 23-20 Tampa Bay. No longer Tampa Bay. But Baker Mayfield can lead you back, as he showed. So for my first 2 selections, I thought about Ravens, but they're laying a huge number. And that is a huge number. A huge number there, Edward. A huge. I'm not going to go with them. I'm going to go with, for my first selection, I really like what I see in this game. And I see an easy, as my air conditioning continues to mess up in the background. You probably hear it.
I saw somebody was starting a 32 Studebaker in this freaking
pretty much
vacant studio that you busted in through somewhere.
Pretty much. The air conditioner is acting funky, unfortunately. Lord. I'm going to go back to the well, Ed. Bo Nix and company on the road against the Colts. 2.5 is the number. I'm going to trust them laying the 2.5. If they burn me for the second straight week with the first pick, I'm done with you guys. Period. Permanent. Forever and ever and ever.
It's going to be a tricky game. Tricky game. You got stuff. falling from the ceiling.
I do.
Studebaker is starting
I
up.
have an
against
avalanche getting ready to cave in on my head right now. Let me tell you, it's not good. It's not pleasant. If we go to this wide screen here, you're going to see like ice chunks literally hit me in the head.
Because you look at the ceiling, you got all that fixtures up there.
I
Something
know.
about to
It's not
fall
looking
apart.
too good. Not looking too good. Things are getting ready to fall. Who was my first pick again? Denver, as I got distracted. Yeah, I'm going Denver.
Yeah, you got Denver.
Now, here's the second one, and this is a really dangerous pick, but hear me out. Mac Jones is at quarterback for the 49ers, right? Isn't that right?
Yep.
Okay. Who's at quarterback for the New Orleans Saints? You laugh. If it's not Spencer Rattler, it's Tyler Shuck. And right now, I'm debating. What's that?
Who gives a shuck who's the quarterback?
Ooh, you almost said something bad. I'm debating if I should shuck corn after this avalanche of ice falls on my head, or if I should go do something else. Do you hear that in the background? Listen to this. I mean, this is
Only
scary.
on our show.
This
We
is
got
scary.
falling from the sky. The sky's falling. And every time, it's what he gets for it when he breaks into different areas to try to show off somebody else's palatial place.
Okay.
It's
Well, but if I'm telling you about Tyler Shuck and Mac Jones, hear me out before you take the stage with your next two picks. What do you think that is angling at?
It doesn't matter who's at quarterback for the Saints. 49ers will win, even though they got a lot of guys hurt.
But that's just it. These two offenses, this might be 6-3 in the fourth quarter. Thus, the over-under is 40.5, and that's why I'm going under 40.5. And if I lose this game because the final score is, you know where I'm going with this, 21-20 by half a point, I will find you and I will take all this ice that fell from the ceiling and just.
I got nothing to do with it. I'm just telling you. I'm going to make this statement. Do not be surprised. San Francisco wins this game 26-14. Don't be surprised with it. They still got some weapons out there. Matt Jones is not a bum.
26-14 is still under 40.5. I win by half a point. I'm good with that. Okay. And by the way, I need a towel to wipe off all the ice that just fell on the floor. So we're good to go. All right, so I've taken my two picks. You don't have ice in your water, I don't think. It's hot water. Will you stay hot with your picks? Give us two more. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, I'm going to go with one I thought you would take, and I know I shouldn't do this because they burned me last year all three times I picked them. Your Arizona Hot Cardinals, -6.5 over the Carolina Panthers. I'm feeling Arizona winning this game by a touchdown. Probably come from behind. All right. I'm going to go with Arizona over the Panthers.
You hear that? I'm chewing on the ice. Go ahead.
That's one of them. And where does the other one go that I kind of.
You said 6.5, right?
Yes, 6.5.
I hope we win by 6 just to irritate you. And I win both ways there. That'd be great. I mean, I'd love for the Cardinals to win by 21. Bryce Young is going to the desert. He could be a little bit better than he was last go around. So, you know.
They better because Arizona they screwed me last year 3 times. And I'm going to stick back in a Steeler game, but this time I'm going to go specifically Steelers, not over the 40.5, which I think it's going to go over. I'm going Steelers -3 over the Seahawks making a cross-country trip into Pittsburgh.
Steelers -3.
Aaron Rodgers, I give it to you. Because when you signed with the Steelers, I said, Lord, help us. And you had a great first week. All I'm asking you is win by at least 4 points. Okay, you don't have to throw 4 touchdowns, but at least win by 4 points. I'll be happy.
Okay. So those are Ed's picks. Again, he's going with the Vikes -3.5, the Cardinals -6.5, and the Steelers -3. What do they all have in common? They all won in week 1. I'm taking Denver -2.5, under 40.5 in the Saints and the 49ers game. And for my third and final pick, I looked really, really, really hard at an over of 47.5 in the Bears-Lions game. Really wanted to take it. Really, really did. Looked really, really hard at the Rams, minus the 5.5 in Tennessee. Probably will regret not taking it. Didn't go with it. Didn't stick with it. But for the game of the week, I got to have something riding on it, and that's the Eagles at the Chiefs. Eagles don't have that 7-5-7 star anymore in Josh Sweat, now playing for the Bird Gang. KC in jeopardy of dropping to 0-2, and I think they will. They're just too beat up. I know it's in KC and Arrowhead, and you say Patrick Mahomes is a dog, you got to go there. But the Eagles had the couple of extra days of rest, and I like that. I will lay the 1.5 for Philly on the road in the Super Bowl rematch and beat Kansas City, which I do have getting off to an 0-2 start, and I do believe they will fail to win the AFC West this year. So there you have it. Philly, they want to take that division lead in the NFC East with Washington losing on Thursday night to Green Bay, and that's my final selection. So there you have it. And because at the time of this we have not gotten Bruce Pearl's picks in the computer just yet, you'll see them flashing across the screen. So I will not relay them verbally. You'll see them across the screen. And that is that. So you see Bruce's potential winners on the screen. For the coach, Ed Young, I am Matthew Hatfield. That's going to wrap it up for another edition of 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV. Closer and closer to B-ball time. I know you're looking forward to it.
Well, we got our first week of workouts in this past week up there in Smithfield, and it's going to be interesting.
That's all he will say for now.
So I'm going to say for now, as I leave you with that. It's going to be interesting.
The number of people that told me they're going to come see you play at least once at the Slaughterhouse, at the Packer Dome. It's more than I can count on two hands, probably three. But they're looking forward to it. As we all are.
I've been told too about a lot of people that are going to come and see at least one game. So come a little bit later in the season than early in the season. Let's do it that way.
Let's just hope that after you have seen Ed's team play, you don't have the look of one Snuggles. Because if you have that look.
This dog high up he takes one roll, he falls on his head, and he don't know what the heck hit him. Got four pillows propped up. This little boy, when he falls off there, Lord Jesus, help us.
That's going to do it for this episode. We thank you all for tuning in, and we'll do it again next time right here on 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV. Have a great weekend, everyone. See you later.
Yeah.
Hey, friends. It's joke time. What did the dentist win at the competition? The dentist won a little plaque.